Mummy, sit down. Good girl. Come on, let Mummy sit down. The dog has assumed the best position on the settee. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and a new vlog. You can probably tell by my surroundings that I am not out on one of my little trips. Unfortunately, this week has, I know I say this a lot, but this week has been incredibly busy. My brother and I are helping my mum and dad move into their new house. Well, I say moving in, they're kind of in it, but we are doing a few renovations to it. It wasn't intended to be a big reno project or anything like that. It's just a case of, we thought a lick of paint here and there and spruce it up and it would be perfect. However, we were sadly mistaken, and as we've been taking wallpaper off the walls, it's been pulling plaster off, and we've ended up having to have rooms replastered. So all in all, it's just turned into a much bigger job than what we'd anticipated. And poor mum and dad, bless them, are just living in a little bit of chaos at the minute. It's never nice moving house anyway, is it? And it's even worse when you're in a bit of a building site, which they are. But yesterday we managed to finish off their master bedroom, which is looking lovely, and it's just a little corner of tranquility for them to retire to and chill out. But between obviously doing the renovations work down there, my day job, finding time to vlog has been a bit of a nightmare. So I thought I'm going to make life easy for myself today, and I'm going to do something from home. It's been a little while since I've done something like this. I know a lot of you do kind of enjoy my homestead vlogs. That's the right word, isn't it? And some of you don't. So apologies if this is not your bag, but I will be coming back obviously with some more trips and things. Another reason I want to kind of stay home is this little one here. Come here, little girl. Little Lotty Lulabella. She's having to go in for surgery, aren't you? So we just want to get her prepared for that and things. And yeah, I don't want to be leaving her. I just want to spend a bit of time with my little girl and spoil her the way she deserves to be spoiled. It's nothing serious. She's having dog liposuction. She's not, I promise. She's got a, what do you call them? A fatty lump, a lipoma under her arm, and it's got quite big. So we thought it was time to have it removed. I wish I could have my fatty lump removed. That'd be nice. Save on the diet. I'll come in with you, Lottie. We'll have a 2 for the price of 1. Right, anyway, back to today. So yes, so we're just going to kind of stay around the house. Not all day. We're going to nip out. We're going to nip down to Waitrose to get a little bit of shopping in. I'm going to make some comfort food for us because, well, the weather has well and truly changed, hasn't it? Although I'm saying that and the sun has just come out and is shining through the window. But mostly it's been pretty dreadful these last few days and very autumnal. I think I'm going to make a nice beef casserole. Generally I would serve a casserole with crusty bread. My other half just loves a French stick buttered with stuff like this. But today I thought we'd do something true Yorkshire, and I'm going to make a giant Yorkshire pudding. Well, hopefully it's going to be a giant one. I mean, it could all fall flat and be, yeah, a pancake, literally. So yes, I'm going to try and make a giant Yorkshire pudding. But right now I'm going to drink the coffee because I've made it, sat down, and I've not had a sip yet. And yeah, and then we'll get ready to go. Shall we, Lottie? I have just pulled up at Waitrose on Ecclesall Road in Sheffield. I haven't been here for a long time. As a supermarket, I really like it. However, it's a bit of a pain to get to traffic wise. It's in quite a busy area, and yeah, I tend to avoid the city centre, so I don't come here that regularly now. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see prices. I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison. I will flash up Aldi prices, comparative prices of the ingredients that I'm buying, so we can actually see what it's like, because supermarkets such as Waitrose are now known for releasing brands. Is it Waitrose Essentials, I think they call it. We'll see when we get in there. Now, why do they always put flowers right in the front entrance? Is that some kind of psychological thing? I am going to treat myself to some flowers actually. I think I'm going to pick them up when I nip into Aldi. I think they're better value. Okay, herbs. I do need some flat leaf parsley. I'm not going to buy one of these pots. I'm just going to get a pack because I don't use it a great deal. Right, there it is. How much is this one? 85 pence. That'll do. Carrots. So this is their Waitrose Essentials range, 70p for a bag. I have to say these look bigger bags than the Aldi ones. They do look nice carrots, those. I need some onions, just 2 for this recipe. Okay, there's a pack of 3 there. Ah, these are the ones I want. So that is everyday value, £1.05. They are perfect. Now these are the types of things that you only get in places like this. You're not going to find this in Aldi. A £44 piece of dry aged steak. Now, does nothing for me, but I'm sure there are plenty of people who will appreciate that. Mushrooms. I'm going to get chestnut mushrooms for this. I prefer the flavour of them. You could quite easily get the closed cup and they'll do just as good job. Like I say, I prefer the taste of the other ones. These are, you get double the amount in these packets, so I suppose it is better value, but you know, go with what you prefer. Okay, beef. They've got two packets here. They're essential Waitrose at £4.10, and what looks to be a slightly better quality one, who knows, and that's £6. They're both 400 grams. I need 700 grams of this, so I'm going to take 2 packets. Tomato puree. It doesn't look like they've got one of their own brands here, so I'll just get the cheapest one. Is this one, the Cereal, £1.55. Right, let's go and visit my my best friend. Is it just me, or is that constant beeping doing your head in? It's like these people who are doing the they go around and they gan as they go. It's constant noise. Anyway, wine. I think it's going to be a little bit more expensive in here than it will be in Aldi, but all I want is a cheap Merlot. Look, that's going to do £6. Not as cheap as Aldi, but I'm actually quite surprised. I thought it would be more here. This looks nice. Strawberry jam and coconut cake. I'm going to refrain, although I'm not going to refrain from these because these are my favourite biscuits. I adore them. Do you know, I am a bit useless at this shopping and filming malarkey because I always seem to go to the self-serve checkouts. I don't know why, it just feels like it's the right thing to do, but then you're always waiting for people to come and check your age, aren't you, and stuff like that. And I always forget to get a receipt because you have to press a button for it, which is not great when you're trying to vlog and show people the cost of things. Fortunately, it's popped up on my phone. Modern technology, eh? It's good for something, isn't it? So I spent £28.20, can eliminate what I bought for the biscuits, which was what, £3.20, so that makes it about £25 what I've just spent in there. The everyday, is it everyday essentials? I've forgotten what it's called. Waitrose Essentials. They're lower price bracket products. They don't offer them in everything, obviously, so you are going to end up paying more if you shop there. However, the shopping experience is just so much nicer than Aldi. Everything's just neat, and they obviously do have such lovely products available to you, so there's no comparison on that basis whatsoever. If you enjoy a nicer shopping experience but you don't want the expense of it, then you know you can go in there and you can pick up cheaper stuff anyway. But I'll be able to do a proper cross comparison when I've done the when I've been to Aldi and seen what they are in there. But right now I'm going to try one of these chocolate and ginger biscuits because I'm a little bit peckish.
They're gorgeous.
Okie doke, I need to crack on with this, otherwise I'm going to run out of time for it to cook. So I like to slow cook the meat, make it tender. I'm not a massive red meat fan, but when I do eat it, I like it to be really, really tender and cooked slowly and long. All the ingredients I've got here, can you see them? I don't think you can you? Let's alter the camera. There we go. Can't see me now. You'd think I'd have got the knack of this filming thing by now, wouldn't you? Yeah, so everything's bought from Waitrose. I nipped into Aldi afterwards and I took photographs of the prices of the same products. Obviously, quantities vary slightly, but it's just to give you a ballpark figure of the difference between prices of Waitrose to Aldi. The mushrooms, the packs were smaller in Waitrose, and I got two because I do like a lot of mushrooms. They tend to wither down to nothing, don't they? To be fair, I could have gone and got them out of the garden, because if you saw my garden at the minute, it's just absolutely full of mushrooms. Although we'd probably end up either tripping or dying. We don't want that, do we? So I'll stick to the good old chestnut mushrooms from Waitrose. Right, okay. Obviously, there will be a couple of things that I'll be using out of the store cupboard that I've already got in, things like dried herbs, olive oil and stuff like that. But everybody's got that anyway, haven't they? So you don't really need to do price comparison for things like that. Okie dokie, shall we crack on? I'm going to start by browning off the beef. I'm going to do it in 2 batches because it makes it quite difficult when you've got a lot of meat in there, so it just doesn't take as much time if you do it in 2 batches. I've actually got more than what I need, so these were packs of 400 grams. I only needed about 700, but I thought, well, Lottie's going to get lucky. She's looking at me now, her little ears pricked up. Right, so I'm going to season this and then get it browning off in a big casserole pan. I need 2 onions for this recipe, which I'm going to cut not too small. It's nice to have a reasonable bite of onion, I think. So the beef is ready now. That's browned off nicely. This beef was actually trimmed and prepared really, really well. So it's about 3 centimetre cube pieces, and there wasn't a great deal of fat on there, so I didn't have to do any trimming or anything. But I'm just going to pop this on one side now. I've put a little bit more oil in the pan, turned the heat down, and I'm going to put the onions in now. While the onions are cooking, I am just going to prepare some beef stock now. I'm going to need about 450 ml. I've just taken a little bit of beef. Well, there was a bit too much anyway, so I've put a little bit on the plate for a treat for Lottie. I think she deserves it. Lottie, you want a treat? Treat? Come on then. Good girl. I think she's enjoyed that. She's licked the plate clean and looking for second helpings now. I think I probably should have cleaned the floor before I did a close-up though, so apologies if it's there's a bit of muck. She's a mucky cow that lives here. The onions are browned nicely. Right, I'm going to add the beef back in here now. Here goes. Oh, there's lots of juices, so that's good. That's a good sign. I've got some dried mixed herbs, a couple of tablespoons full, and the corn flour. The purpose of the flour is just as thickener, so this does generally have the same effect as plain flour. That's all come together nicely, so I'm going to put in the stock now and also the red wine, about 150 ml. A good glug. You need a good glug of red wine. You might think that's never been 150 ml, Rebecca, but do you know what? I don't really care. I'm only giving you the quantities for your benefit. If somebody would like to make this at home, this is purely, well, I just throw it all in. Now I'm going to add in tomato puree, about 2 tablespoons full. Give it another good stir, and then we're going to bring it to the boil on the hob, cover it, and then I'm going to stick it in the oven for about an hour and a half. Now I like to put a bay leaf in here as well. I've not got any dried ones, but I have got a bay tree outside that I've not killed yet, unlike the other herb garden that I filmed in one of my vlogs. So if you were wondering why I was using dry herbs, that's the reason. I've killed all the ones that I planted. So this is my lovely bay tree. I'm just going to pinch one off here. This has just bubbled up a little bit. I'm going to put the lid on it now and pop it in the oven. I'm going to cook it for an hour and a half at 160 fan. Pop my bay leaf in, we're good to go. Come out of the way, Lotty. So after this has had an hour and a half in the oven, I'll then add the additional vegetables, and then I'll probably cook it for, say, another 45 minutes just to soften those down. I don't know what it is. I hate carrots when they're cut in perfect rounds. I think it just reminds me of soggy stewed carrots at school. Just don't enjoy them like that at all. Casseroles like this you can serve so many different ways. You can have them just on their own with lovely buttered crusty bread. You can have rice with them, mashed potato. One of my favourites is mashed potato with leeks. Yeah, which is just delicious. But I am going to do a Yorkshire pudding. I'm going to do a big Yorkshire pudding. Obviously being a Yorkshire lass, I've got to get this right or it could be quite embarrassing. I don't have, the only specific quantity that I always use is 4 eggs. With regards to the flour and the milk, that's just a kind of feel it thing for me. Fingers crossed, I hope to God it doesn't fall foul, or should I say fall flat. So how do I make my Yorkshire puddings? Simple as anything. Ultimately only 4 ingredients of your GIANT salt, 4 eggs, plain flour, and I use semi-skimmed milk. I know some people use full fat milk, I know some people use a mixture of water and milk, but I think this works quite well because obviously semi-skimmed milk does have an element of water in it as well. So I've never had any complaints, let's just put it that way. Right, I've got to try and crack these eggs without getting any shell in them now and making me look like a fool. Now I used to make Yorkshire puddings by literally just throwing everything in and then mixing it up. I always had a problem with lumps and the flour getting lumpy. So my way around that is by whisking up the eggs first and then gradually adding the flour until it almost becomes like a real stiff paste. So like I say, I don't use specific quantities of flour. I literally just do what I've done until I get this consistency. So like I say, it's quite a stiff paste. And then what I do is to start to loosen it up with the milk. So once again, I just add a little bit at a time. That's my finished batter. It's probably a little bit looser than what I would normally do. I got a bit carried away with the milk. But it's, how would I describe its consistency? Probably a little bit like a custard. Like I said, this is a little bit looser than what I would normally do. But one thing that is imperative, well, I think it is anyway, I don't know if it makes a great deal of difference, but it always seems to work for me, is I put the batter in the fridge and I take it out just before I obviously put it into the hot fat. That kind of creates that reaction, which I think makes things rise. This is my contrived method of making Yorkshire pudding, so we'll see whether it works. I mean, there are so many different methods out there, aren't there? And you can watch video after video, but I think you've just got to do what's right for you, and this way has always kind of worked for me. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt in here, and as I say, it's then going to go into the fridge, and it will thicken up a little bit more in the fridge. When I pull it out, I'll give it another good whisk and then pop it into the hot fat. Right, it's been in the oven for an hour and a half. Let's have a look, see what it's looking like, and we'll throw in these other vegetables. Ooh, steamy. That's the last of the vegetables in there. We're going to put that back in the oven for another 45 minutes. There's about 30 minutes left to go. I've taken the casserole out of the oven and I've put it on the hob, which you can probably see behind me. Now, the only reason I've done that is because I want to cook the Yorkshire pudding in the same oven. I do have dual ovens, but I don't like using the non-fan oven. I don't know, things just never seem to work out for me. And when I'm doing something on camera, I want to do it right. So I'm just finishing the casserole off on the top. It's virtually cooked. It's just the carrots probably need to soften a little bit more. In the fan oven, I've turned the temperature up to about 180. And I've put in quite a large Pyrex dish. Now, it's not the normal dish that you would usually use for Yorkshire puddings, but I use this when I'm making a big one because, quite frankly, it's the only one that I've got, and it always seems to work, so I don't think it matters. I've put a good glug of sunflower oil in there, and it's just gone in the oven to get the oil very, very hot. Right, so I'm going to get the batter mixture out the fridge, give that another whisk up, and then we'll put that in. Cooking time for Yorkshire pudding, well, if I'm perfectly honest, I always cook it on site. I think the key is you try not to open the oven door, because if you do, you let the hot air out and then it can kind of droop. So if you do need to open the door to have a quick look, make it as quick and as infrequent as possible. It's amazing how much it thickens up when it's been sat in the fridge for a while. That is now the perfect consistency for how I like it. As I say, it's a little bit custard-like. Right, that is hot, hot. You can hear it as soon as you pour it in and it starts bubbling away. So that's a good sign that things are hot enough. Right, let's get this back in the oven. Oh God, I hope this works. I'm going to look such a prat if a Yorkshire girl can't make a Yorkshire pudding. My Yorkshire pudding has been in for 14 minutes so far and it's looking good. I'm going to see if you can see it through the window. It's a little bit murky, but you might be able to see. Look at that. She's looking good. I just hope that when I open the door she doesn't. They often can fall flat. That's if you've not cooked them for long enough. But hopefully, fingers crossed, she's gonna be a good one. I've just turned the oven off. I've not opened the door and I've not taken the Yorkshire pudding out. It's taken just short of 20 minutes, but I'm just leaving it in there to kind of cool down naturally. If you take it out and shock it with a draft or cool air, that's when they tend to sink. So I'm just gonna let it sit in there for a little bit longer. I've taken the casserole off the heat as well. That looks cooked and ready to go. Let me show you. It's looking very nice. Taking that off early just to let it rest a few minutes. I need to pull out the bay leaf that I put in. We don't want anybody getting that on their dinner. I've chopped a little bit of flat leaf parsley just to dress it. That's for the benefit of you guys. I wouldn't normally do that, but it just made things look prettier. So there you go. Right, I think all we've got to do now is warm through a plate, and yeah, we're pretty much ready to serve up. I'm really nervous. I'll feel like a failure if I've got a crap Yorkshire pudding. Moment of truth anyway, I'm going to pull it out the oven now, so fingers crossed for me. This is like the test to see whether you are a proper Yorkshire lass or not. Can you make a Yorkshire pudding? Right, here goes. Ah! Look at that! I'm so happy. It's a proper Yorkshire pudding. Slightly devastated that I'm not going to be able to eat it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to serve it up as I would serve it up with the Yorkshire pudding. I've kind of put a little bit of lonely stew on its own for me to taste. Right, I've got mine. Doesn't look quite as nice as the one with the Yorkshire pudding, but nonetheless, I'm going to enjoy this. Hee you could just serve it with some peas as well, just for additional vegetables and added healthiness. But this is gorgeous. Yes, it's proper winter fare or autumnal fare, and I think the Yorkshire pudding just kind of takes it to the next level, doesn't it? I'm so pleased, I'm so relieved it turned out. But the good thing about these Yorkshire puddings, if you've got too much left, I mean, my other half, he has it as dessert as well. He'll put golden syrup on it, which I find a little bit weird, but I know lots of people do that. And if there is some left as well and you don't want to eat it for dessert, just bang it in the freezer and it freezes really, really well. And then all you have to do is just pop it in the oven for 3-4 minutes to warm it through, and you've got a fresh homemade Yorkshire pudding. Anyway, you don't want to watch me sit and devour all of this. I'm going to love you and leave you. But first of all, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support and for subscribing, for your comments. It means the world to me. I'm really trying to push Facebook at the minute. I probably need to do the same with Instagram, but right now I'm just focusing on Facebook. So if you're not already, please find me and follow me on there. And I'm trying to put stuff on every single day. So yes. Anyway, I'm going to dig into this, and I'll love you and leave you. See you soon. Bye.